Hello and welcome to week 13 in Statistics for Psychology, and I'll start off same way we started off in the biopsych class. I did go through all of the assessments, all the quizzes and assignments. I've graded everything in the class. Please review those if you've done some updates to your quizzes. There are some people did. A few of you did those updates. They were awesome. Brought your score up to 100, and that was really great. And so review all that. Kind of buttoning up the class here, getting ready for these last 3 weeks of grading, catching up on my work, my end of the deal. So this time we're continuing with our t-tests, but in chapter 12 we go into the independent samples t-test. And the simple contrast between this is the definition of our independent variable. So when we are doing within and between groups t-tests, we are measuring the independent variable is the factor that we are trying to figure out. A teaching method, what's the effect of a teaching method, or what's the effect of a medication, or what's the effect of walking in the woods on emotional state, whatever it is. We're looking at variables like that. When we are looking at independent samples t-test, we are looking at different populations. The variable, or at least one of the variables, is which population they belong to. Now the difference is, let's say I did a study and I found that walking in the woods has a significant impact on stress relief and increases performance on tests. So I want to maybe implement this at KVCC, that we have a walk in the woods before our final exams. And so I could then do an independent samples t-test that actually compares the effect of that nurses, psych students, line workers. I'm looking at different populations. So membership in the population, now all the nurses, all the psych students, all the line workers, that becomes the variable. This is the classic studies where we say men and women, different races, different economic standards, different nationalities, different languages. We look at membership in a group or a population as one of the variables, and we're comparing. That becomes what we're comparing in our independent samples t-tests. So we'll be doing that in class. We're going to continue to prepare for next week, where we're going to be or maybe we'll do some of it this week, because I think this will only take us a little bit of time, and we don't have the biopsych class on Wednesday. So why don't we just go ahead and say that this week we're going to spend some time really having a discussion about your particular project that you're working on for next semester. We'll get into a little circle and we'll go around and just kind of problem solve where you're at with that particular process. So let's spend some time on Wednesday doing that right after we've gone through the assignments for chapter 12. So let's go ahead and call that. We'll spend that time together working on the plan that you have for next year's research project. And I know there's lots of questions, and let's just ask them. We'll just take every person one at a time, and where are you at? What's going on? Let's problem solve. Let's get most of that material that you have to submit to me as your final project in this class, that proposal. Let's get most of that honed down. You can write that out. That's off your plate. And then you can start contemplating how you're going to be doing that next year, either here or at Husson. I'm hoping that you do this at Husson when you go there. And so that's how we'll spend the time on Monday. We'll spend the time on Monday working on chapter 12. We'll finish that off on Wednesday, and then spend the rest of the time, however long it takes, for us to go through each one of you. Come in prepared with the ideas you have. Even if it's not final, we can finalize a lot. Working together, problem solving together, no problem. I think we can really probably get most of this assignment done by Wednesday, and that will be great. So I hope you had a great break, and I look forward to working with each one of you this week, and do have a great week, and I'll see you then.